There comes a time in life when we realize our parents are aging, not just growing older, but truly changing. Their steps get slower, their stories repeat, and their faces carry the quiet wisdom of time. It's both beautiful and heartbreaking, reminding us that time moves faster than we ever imagined.
Welcome to Mama's Playground. This is Darlene.
This is Monica.
It is November. It's a time where we reflect on what's important to us, on what we're grateful for. It's Thanksgiving coming up soon. And one of those things, of course, is having our parents and having them alive.
Yeah. Having our family around.
Yes.
Having our family around. That's something super grateful for at this, moment that my parents are still around, that they get to spend time with my kids and having family. Because I think the holidays is when you start to see, as you get older, less and less people start to show up at the holidays because some people are not here anymore.
Not only that, I mean, obviously this year for me was very, very sad. I lost 3 people that I loved, especially my aunt Doris. Oops, sorry about that. Even see my dad when he's talking about his friends that have gotten sick, his friends that have passed. This cousin Doris was, like a sister to him because he doesn't have siblings. And just seeing the sadness in their face, realizing, we're losing friends, we're losing family members that we grew up with and that are close to our age. And, it's also hitting them that they're not getting any younger.
I think it hits us too.
Us too, yeah.
Oh my God, so much, because sometimes you say, oh my God, you look at your kids and you say, oh my God, I remember when they were babies, I could hold them in my arms. I always tell my kids that. And then on the flip side of that, it's the thing of seeing your parents' age. If you're still fortunate to have them around and you've had a good relationship with them, it's seeing them age. And the reason why I brought it up is because it's crazy. It's like, I don't know, I think the phone reads my mind or something. But at nighttime, I said this in another episode, at nighttime, a lot of thoughts come to my head. I'm awake, everybody's asleep. I think of my parents. I think of, that they're getting older, how much I want to spend time with them, the times that when, we were younger, the things that we used to do. I see it more now because my dad's not walking the same way that he used to walk. My mom is, she's more tired, and it hits me, it hits me at nighttime that, you need to appreciate when your loved ones are still around. Let's put it that way.
100%. I had such a beautiful childhood and so many beautiful memories with my parents from, when I was a little girl till today, till 2 days ago, till every day. And they help me so much the same way that your parents help you, not only with babysitting, but just anything. Like my mom always, she'll call me, it's like, you haven't cooked? No, I have food. Come over. And I'm like, yes. It's just too. Those little things, or just, I'm so used to talking to her 2-3 times a day, and my dad. And let me tell you, I love my parents. Sometimes same as I love my husband and I love my kid, and sometimes we could drive each other crazy, and the same thing happens, with
vice versa, probably.
It happens, and I drive them crazy. That's called family. But yeah, the day that they're not here, I have no idea what I'm gonna do with my life, because I'm so used to having them. And the way I see it is, it's just try to spend as much time as you can with them and have these conversations. And when my grandma passed away on my dad's side, Abuela Nina, this is crazy, but I remember being, not when she passed away, but later in life, I was like, oh my God, I never had her spaghetti with chicken recipe. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't have that. And it's something silly, but also I find that the importance of asking the questions and having these conversations with your parents, because these are your parents. This is your past, and your kids are going to be asking you questions about them, and you want to make sure that you have the answers.
Did you have a time, because like for me, I think about it, and it's funny because you see all these, reels and all that when you are on social media. And I saw one the other day and I sent it to my sister-in-law because it made me cry. Like I started crying when I saw it. And it was such a simple reel, but the girl was like sitting like across the table from her mom. And she was saying, I'm having the best time with my mom. I'm having like the best like lunch, whatever. She's like, and then I start realizing, wow, what happened to time? My mom's gotten so old. And like, she kind of like, zoomed into las canas and zoomed into like the crow's feet and zoomed into, and she's like, realizing that it's just going to progress from here. It just hit me so hard right now, And so obviously it hits people. I mean, people are making reels about it and they're doing, it's obviously things that, people think about, Yeah. And for me, I say to myself, when did I start realizing that my parents were getting older? Because time has passed for me. It's gone so fast. I don't know. I don't know if it's after we have kids that you're just so busy and you're in the day in and day out, that time, it just goes like lightning, right? And one day I look up and I see my parents and I was like, wow, what happened? I remember when my dad was this like, strong guy and he would, be in the yard and he would pick something up or he would do things. And now he doesn't even move his arms, like what happened, and then looking at my mom and saying like, wow, remember, this woman, I still have the vision of her, like the bright red hair and always dressed nice and her makeup. And now she's exhausted, and she just feels tired and, and it kills me sometimes, it kills me.
And are they going to go with you to Europe?
They are. So, so let me tell you, that's one thing that I
ask you because we've talked about this and I'll go there after you.
As an adult, I said to myself, when we were younger, we would take, small vacations. We were in a family that would travel a lot. And now as an adult with my own 2 kids, that these are their only 2 grandkids, I was on my mom forever about taking a trip with us. And, she always had a thing about whether work or this. And finally I convinced her and we are, taking a trip in December, to see her family in Spain and all that. Obviously, they have things that they need to do there.
You've been talking about this for about 2 years.
Forever. And then I said, if I don't do this now, if we don't do this now, we may not get the chance to do it, And again, we've talked about regrets in another episode, and that would be a major regret for me, not be able to spend that time with my parents, see them in another country with less stress. Maybe those 2 weeks they don't have, my mom doesn't have to worry about food. Like we can go out to eat, be with the family, be with her grandkids in her country.
Oh my God.
And that's my dad's Cuban, but he's got his cousins in Spain as well, and she's actually one of the cousins we're going to go see. She owns a farm up in Asturias and she's 90 years old. And I said, if I don't go now with my kids and I don't go with my parents, when are we going to go? I don't want to have that regret. I want my kids to be with their grandparents, see the family, hear the stories, and I guess, those are things that I obviously am trying to work on because I want to appreciate the moments that we have, I
am so happy you're doing that because we've talked about this for forever. And in my case, I've seen the change, obviously the physical change and, not walking the same way that you used to walk. My dad has the same humor, the same passion for salsa. He just wrote a book last year, which I admire that at 80.
Your dad's full of life.
Yes. And then my mom is diabetic, but it's controlled and it drives me crazy though, seeing all the pills. We live so close, and that's one of the reasons why we moved out of LA. We were so happy in LA and loved it. But it was one of those things that I regretted not spending the last years of my grandmother's life with her, even when she would ask me like, oh, don't go to LA, stay here. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go to LA and I'm going to be this big movie star. So now when Luna was born, I remember saying, it's not going to happen again. I'm just going to go to Florida and that's where I'm going to be. And I'm 4 minutes away and we go everywhere together and it's amazing. And I feel that that's the most that we can do is give them time, have patience, because sometimes we can lose it.
1,000%. I'm the first one.
Patience. And it's so funny because this has happened a lot. When I go out with my mom and with Luna, it's insane because I have my mom walking so slow.
And Luna running.
So slow.
Like,
my mom would be, go, I'll get there. And I'm like, Mom, you're in the middle of the street. No, I'm going to wait for you. Like,
and then Luna mind
and
just
then
across.
Luna's like over there. So I'm usually like stuck in the middle. Okay. Do I run after the 6-year-old or do I wait for my mom? And I just start laughing and embracing and appreciating it because one day I'm going to miss that.
100%. And I say there's so many emotional layers to all this because your parents are aging. Obviously, you're trying to raise kids at the same time.
And
you're also
we're
trying to take
aging
care.
too.
And we're aging too. And you see it. Yeah. It's just like it's a full circle moment when you start seeing your parents aging. You realize your kids are getting older and so are you. And it's emotional. Like, it's not something you think about all day. I'm not sitting there, 24 hours a day thinking about it. But when it does get a glimpse, when I do see, my dad not walking as fast, or when I see my mom a little bit more tired, or when I see that I lose patience on them, you know what I mean? All those things, it gets to me,
But I feel that sometimes we lose the patience because we're sad of what we're seeing. We're frustrated. And it's more like, come on, hurry up. Because it's like, come on, you've always been faster than me. You're my mom. You're my dad.
The unfortunate part is that we don't learn when we're younger. We learn as we age. Mm-hmm. So, and now that we're older and we see that even though we lose our patience, because I'm the first one, I lose patience with my parents. And I think it's definitely that. I think it's because I get so hurt sometimes not seeing them still, be as active, or, I try to push them. I feel sometimes, and it's not that they make me feel responsible for them at all. My parents are not like that. They're not, the people that are all giving me guilt trips and all that at all. But I do feel sometimes because I'm, still younger, I'm younger and I'm an adult now and I'm able to do things and all that. I feel sometimes responsible for their happiness, responsible to want to make them like enjoy their life and travel and do this. And then I push sometimes very, very hard because I can be very, persistent, let's say. I do come from a sales background, so I'm very persistent and I keep on and on and on and on. And I sometimes offend them, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I start saying, come on, you need to get up, you need to walk, we need to do this. Come on, you just stop doing that. I start kind of, and it's because that fear, I think there's like a fear inside of like, no, I want you to go to the gym. Like I'm on their case all the time about go to the gym, get up, do this. And I have gotten in arguments with my parents because of this, because
with your dad, right?
More with my dad than my mom, but my mom also comes with her excuses, and it bothers me because I send them reels. I mean, I see these old people that are 85 years old that have gone through accidents and all this stuff, and they never walked a day in their life, and now they're healthy and they're doing weights, and then I send these videos to my parents all the time.
Maybe they don't want to see that because maybe they feel like physically they're not there, and maybe it's a matter of us accepting them for
absolutely
where they are right now, who they are. Sometimes I tell my mom, let's go out. When my dad goes to Puerto Rico, she's here alone. I'm like, Mom, let's go do. No. I like to be home alone. I like to be home, relax, watching TV in my bed, and part of me is like, come on, let's go.
Get up, get up.
Yeah, and that's one thing that growing old in the States is completely different than growing old, for example, in Spain.
Yeah.
You go to Spain or other places in Europe and you see people their age just hanging out hanging out, walking.
It's different. It's a different lifestyle.
The train, moving around. And here it's you get in the car, you go to the doctor's office, you come back to the car, you go home, you cook, you sit in the couch. The next day, same thing. And that's how my dad, let me tell you, the fact that he gets to go to Puerto Rico and he still works.
Gets to see his friends when he goes to Puerto Rico.
Going to the courthouse and seeing everybody in the courthouse. And then on Saturdays, he's at La Placita de Santurce, hanging out with his friends. On Sundays,
dancing salsa.
He goes to the beach. And when we were there, it was like, hey, Darlene, what are you doing today? I don't know. Okay, so we're going to go to this place. These people are there and they're playing this music. Okay. And he kept insisting for me going on Mondays to Domino Mondays at the beach. It's like, they're older. They're all older.
Yes, I know.
And they're having a freaking great time because they're hanging out, they're doing this. So it's a matter of being sociable, having a group of friends, and being active.
But why do you think?
I think that's where I want to go when I grow older.
Darlene, but why do you think at this point with my parents, I guess it's that thing of wanting to hold on to them and all that. I get it. You know, there's that book from Mel Robbins that, you know, we even hear the podcast on it, the let them theory, just let them be, right? But I guess there's that inner child in me that gets like, I don't want to let them be. Like, I want them to work out. I want them to walk. I want them to be able to come with me on the next trip so that my kids could spend time with them, you know? And sometimes it comes off harsh, which actually it happened to me. It came off harsh to my mom one day, something I told her, and she took it to heart. That she, you know, she even told me, she's like, I cried. Like, I cried. She's like, the first time, she's like, I cried for, like, I was in bed and I couldn't sleep because of what you said. I didn't realize.
Oh my God.
I didn't realize I said it, but I said it out of love. And I guess it made her feel bad. You know what I mean? And I said to her, you know, we got in a little argument out of like impatience and all that. And I said to her, you know, I say these things because I love you. And what do you think? It's because I want you to come with me on this trip. I want you to be with me. And I guess I saw her eyes go, like, it was kind of like a thing that I wasn't bashing her. I was doing it more so because I want to spend the time with you. I want you to be there. I want your grandkids to spend time with you and my father, you know? And they take it more like I'm just nagging and
hey,
and
again,
bitching.
full circle.
It's full circle.
Because probably it's the same thing that they would do to us as little kids.
Yeah.
I want you to do this. I want you to come to this event you don't want to go to with us. And yeah, it's
I want you to be with us.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing it, you know?
Yeah, but yeah, again, it's about, you know, trying to include them in your plans and just the visits. Like, oh my God, go visit your parents and talk to them and again, ask them questions.
Yeah, if you're lucky enough still to have your parents around and they're aging and you have a good relationship with your parents, try to make that time. You know what I mean? Because you won't get that time back. Mm-hmm. You won't get that time back. I remember my grandfather, my mom's father, lived with us from when I was like, well, he passed away when I was like 17. He lived with us for a baby from 13 to 17 years old. And the night he passed away, again, you're 17 years old. You're not thinking about these things. You're not so conscious of it as you are now, right? You are now. And I had a party to go to, and I still remember saying, bye, I'm leaving. I didn't say bye to him. And that night I got the call from my mom, hey, you need to come home. And I said, why? She's like, oh, your grandfather passed away. Oh. And I was very close to my grandfather, very close to him. And I did not get to say bye to him. And that always stayed with me, you know, the saying, like, with my parents, I want you guys to be around. I want to do the trips. I want to be there, you know?
And in our kids' lives, because they're excellent grandparents and our kids love them.
They adore them. That's why I want to spend more quality time with them, you know? And that's why I just hope it comes full circle. I hope that we all get those moments together. I always pray, hey, let them live to be 100, you know? And I hope that I get to be 100 so that my kids, I could be around for my kids, you know? And it's you know, you don't know. Life is weird. It's weird.
My friend's dad just passed away, and he was always with him till the end and feeding him and all that, and such an excellent son. And that's what I said. It's
no regrets.
He's gone, but no regrets, because you were there.
Yeah,
you were there. And for example, even if you're not there physically, you know, I think about my husband, who doesn't see his parents all the time, but he's such an excellent son, and he's always there for them. But yeah, the idea is for them to also see each other more often, because they're in Colombia. But yeah,
but it's keeping time. It's FaceTime. It's always keeping constant, you know, and checking up on them if you're able to, right? Again, we are, and I always say this, we are lucky and fortunate to have the families that we have.
Oh my God, yeah.
My parents are amazing, even though sometimes they think I don't think that. I do think that.
So on that note, before we wrap up, and congrats to us for being able to do this episode without crying, because when Monica told me what she wanted to talk about, I was like, because it is something that keeps us up at night, at least me. at times I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, my parents, I love them so much. Like, I need them in my life always.
Forever.
So she sends me the what we're going to talk about. And I was reading some things about it. And I sent her a message back and I'm like, I'm crying.
Listen, it gets to me sometimes in my own like alone time. It gets to me, like, you know, anything that you think about in life and all that, you know, it's vulnerable, you know, you become vulnerable thinking about you were this little and your parents took care of you for so long and they did all these things for you, and now it's kind of like the roles are starting to reverse. Now you're looking out for them, thinking what's going to be better for them, how can they be along,
we are to our kids. So what we have right now is we have dual roles, because we're with our parents and our children, and you know, we want to spend time with them, and then we also have our responsibilities with our kids, and then we get them together. But you know, at times I'm like, oh, I just drop off Luna at school, whatever, okay, I'm gonna go home and relax, or and then my mom will call me, oh, I need help with something with the computer. My dad will call me to tell me the news, because he's the most informed person in the world. He's always telling me, you know what happened? That's when I say, oh my God, one day I'm not going to have this and I'm going to miss it. And on both sides, Luna's going to get older. She's not going to need me. My parents are not going to be around. So even on those moments where we feel overwhelmed or stressed, which by the way, Mel Robbins came out with an episode a couple of weeks ago talking about the difference between stress and overwhelmed, and you got to listen to it. It's really good, and I want us to talk about it. Completely out of subject, but anyway, if you could tell your parents something right now, what would it be?
Oh my God, that I adore them. That I love them. Oh my God, I'll start crying. Darlene, I don't want to start crying. I'm not going to cry. I'm going to keep that I love them.
You want to look at the camera?
No, I love them. That I love them, that I adore them. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. No, I can't. I'll start crying.
So I'm going to say thank you so much, Mom and Dad, for me, for my childhood, for making me who I am, the mom, the sister, the wife, the daughter, the friend, for all the lessons, for all the laughs, for always being there for me, for all the unconditional support when you have a crazy daughter saying, I want to be an actress one day, I want to be a director another day, I want to be a writer, I want to do this. And so I appreciate it, and for the extension as to how amazing you are to my daughter, your great, you know, parents, grandparents, and in-laws. I could speak for my husband because they are, and I love you guys so much.
Absolutely. It's something to be super grateful for. Super grateful for. I didn't get to finish my sentence, but they know.
The show is still here. It's on.
Everything you just said, no, because I'll start crying. Everything you just said, I second that. I love my parents very much. So thank you, Mom and Dad, literally for everything that you've done for me, everything, and for me and my kids and my sister and all that.
Okay, so make sure that the same thing that we did right now, you do it. Yes. Do it, and if your parents are not alive, write a note. Like if they were still here, just, you know, journal it and just send it to heaven, because I believe in that. Me too. I'm going to take this episode and I'm going to make both of them watch it and say, everything you think that I don't think, look, here you go. It's easier on the podcast than me telling you in person. There you go. No, but tell them in person or a letter. Yeah. A letter. Old school. Just mail it. No email, no nothing. Just mail it. Have them receive it. Hey, that's a great idea. I think it'll be even better, because then you can get your thoughts onto like paper and really put your sentiment and your feelings into it. So yeah, you know what? I might just take you up on that. So thanks for tuning in another episode of Mama's Playground. Yes. We love you. And stay grateful. Yes. Bye. Bye.